This episode is brought to you by regret and bad choices.
Are you ready?
Starting now?
Well, now you just messed it up, you knob. God, you know that the shit that we go through for this, huh?
I know. Fuckers better appreciate it. When we started, we were just like, yeah, we're just going to do this, man. You know, shoot our wad into the wind and see what happens. What's the title of this podcast again?
I don't know. Objects, I don't know. Something with a penis, I guess.
Right.
Our fucking faces are everywhere now.
Right.
You know, but
You're welcome, ladies.
Right. Popular with the ladies. Right. Oh, I'm not even going to apologize because hopefully it sounds fucking hilarious.
Yeah, totally. This is fucking explicit now.
The explicit button. Let me use my finger.
It is time for another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And that episode starts now. All right, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Sober, Not Mature. Now, I want everyone to settle down, get in your seats. Everyone, calm down. The meeting's about to start.
Think about it. Go ahead.
Everyone, calm down. Calm the fuck down.
If I calm down any more down, I'm going to fall asleep.
Is there anyone at all that might be celebrating an anniversary of 1 year or more?
Yeah, hey, my name's Mike. On Tuesday, I had 15 years.
Woohoo!
Woohoo.
The crowd goes wild. Yes, so Tuesday, what day was that again?
The 22nd of April.
All right, cool. So, only other quick question for you. So now, I mean, do you, all the things I've been talking about, do you understand now that you have more time? I mean, it all make...
You still got those 4 days on me, man. I'm always going to be fucking playing catch up.
Yeah, you're always older than me. I always got more time, but
right.
Yeah, I can't remember who said something to me the one time you and I were giving somebody a little bit of shit. I mean, the person I think had 5, 6, 7 years at the time, and we had probably 10. You know, nothing hugely out of the ordinary.
Right.
Person's like, what are you going to stop, giving me shit, act like I don't know what I'm doing? Well, you better hope I start drinking again, because that's the only way that's going to fucking happen. If I drink again and I got to start over, then you get to tell me what to do. And I don't mean you, Mike, but I'm talking about, we're talking about the other one. You can tell me what to do any goddamn day of the week. And you know what? I welcome it half the time. Not even half, all the time.
And quite honestly, we're never going to fucking stop telling you, but I am going to listen to what you have to say, because, I might learn something from somebody who's got 5 years less than me.
Yeah, and you know what? As a real quick side note, and I know we were just I was fucking around about that, but I've been really open about it on here, and I know I've said it probably more than a couple of times, that I love people in that 2 to 3 year range. A year is cool because you see people, again, head popping out of the ass, light bulb moments, all those sort of things. People starting to get their shit together. But, after that second, and especially that second, third year, that's when, again, speaking of calming down, people kind of ease into their lives. They not only got their shit together, but they're moving and they're doing their thing. And, there's a lot of people that are really far more excited about this thing than you and I.
Right.
And not that we're not, but
we're just old and tired and jaded.
Yeah. And I suppose it's just like life, we've been around for a couple of minutes, still just a couple 24s. 15 is not a few, right?
Right.
20.
Not yet. 20. 20.
Okay.
Yep. That's just me. That's not from anywhere. That's just pulling straight out of my asshole.
It's on page 165. No, 164 and a half is where it is.
166.
But no, I mean, it's kind of like life. You're like, you know what? I've done this shit before. I get it. You're all happy and stuff, but I've seen that before and I've done it, and it's just part of our thing now, which is fine. We don't
Yep.
take it for granted, but
Mm-mm.
no, we're not skipping down the street. I'm sober. Here we are, so sober. I'm so sober.
Right.
It has a little flashback to something from about a year or so ago, year and a
Yeah,
half ago now.
exactly. A year and a half ago now. Yep.
But I do have a programming note, but I can save that until after we do the reading.
All right.
I mean, I'm sure I got little side notes. Ran across a couple of articles. Yeah, I don't know. I got some stuff, but I mean, this is kind of our look at us episode. It is we want to call it that. It's our anniversary episode. We're coming up on our anniversary weekend, and I mean, we're kind of egotistical throughout the year. I'll say I am all throughout the year. Listen to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you fucking are. You are. Yeah, it's okay, Bill.
Well,
I'm gonna co-sign that shit all day long.
I don't need to co-sign that at all. That's been signed, stamped, notarized.
Right on my fucking forehead, and I got the T-shirt too. But I don't know. I have a couple of different thoughts on that, but I just figured it'd be, let's get the reading done, and as we always do, I almost said get out of the way. I got to get away from that,
right?
Because I don't mean it that way. I love the reading. I really do. I enjoy it. I really do.
We get to do the reading.
We do. We are privileged to do the reading, and I don't know. It's kind of some pressure tonight. This is an anniversary episode. Look at us episode reading. So I don't know. It's got to be good.
All right. Yeah, whatever. Actually, my God Grant Me book, pretty much the whole week is like dog-eared because they're really good ones, and I think we've done them all. I was looking through them and going, yeah, I know we did. I'm pretty sure we did that. I know we did that. So this is from Keep It Simple. This is from like a month ago almost, March 28th. I was flipping around looking for something and found this one. So here we go. All right. God is not a cosmic bellboy. Some guy named Harry Emerson Fosdick. Seriously, Fosdick. I didn't look him up. You can go ahead and do that if you care. All right, here's the reading. We have to laugh when we look back at the times we treated the world like it ought to cater to us. Who did we think we were, ordering the world about? But we got away with it. The world even did some of the things we asked. Now we know that our higher power is not a servant. As we work the steps, we know we don't give orders to our higher power. We don't expect miracles every time we'd like one. We're asking our higher power to lead us. After all, who knows what is best for us? Our higher power or us? Our higher power has many wonderful gifts for us. Our higher power will show us goals, help us live in love and joy, and give us strength. Prayer for the day. Higher power, show me ways to help others as you've helped me. I'm grateful that you love me and help me. Action for the day. Those pesky, pesky actions. Today, I'll make a list of times a higher power has helped me out of trouble.
Do you have a list?
Hell no.
So as you like to say, which I appreciate, a power greater than yourself. But I mean, I guess think about that in a basic and general sense. I mean, has there been times when you feel like this or these or whatever powers there are that are greater than yourself have either kept you or helped you out of trouble?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Yeah, all I do is get myself in trouble. So anytime that I get out of trouble, it sure as hell isn't me. I am the cause of all my problems. Like Homer Simpson says, right? Alcohol, the cause and solution to all of life's problems. I am the cause. I am the cause, and yes, something bigger than me is the solution. Yeah. Again, I don't know. Times I can't think of anything specifically. I don't know. This whole sobriety thing kind of falls under that umbrella,
right?
I'm still breathing. Says that's clearly that's not my doing because I would be dead running things on my own. I mean, the best line out of this that I liked the most was, we're asking our higher power to lead us. We're not asking it to do things for us.
Right.
When I read this earlier, I was like, it reminded me of one of my favorite Ricky Gervais lines. Famous atheist, brilliant guy, funny as hell. Love Ricky Gervais, right? But so this God, right? He didn't stop the Holocaust, but he's going to help us find our car keys. Thank you. Right. No gimme prayers, no, this power greater than ourselves leads us, points us in the right direction. And then it's up to us to take the action and do the next right thing. That's all. I mean, that's all it is for me. I clearly, people, I get asked, not all the time, clearly not as much anymore, but how can you be an atheist and work the Alcoholics Anonymous program? Well, it's real fucking easy. I work the fucking Alcoholics Anonymous program. I realize I am not the center of the universe. I'm not running things. There are things bigger than me, and I'm a part of those things that are bigger than me. And if I do those things, it works.
Yeah, and when I had asked you that question to begin with about having a higher power, and that's the reason I said keep you or get you out of trouble,
right?
Because I mean, if we to your exact point, and I agree with you completely that if I get in trouble, I can't look over and look over, up, around wherever my higher power is, and be like, well, what the fuck, man?
Right.
When I physically took the action to get into whatever trouble I was, or my best thoughts, as they say,
right.
But on the other hand, the concept and the idea and the understanding and the leaning on of a higher power has kept me out of a ton of fucking trouble.
Right.
I mean, a ton.
Yeah.
I can't, like you said, this whole sobriety thing. Yeah, that's number one, and that's the big one right there. I realizing, like you said, that we just know, you and I, if nothing else, regardless of what we believe, agnostic, God guy, this and that in between. I worship a cow or a horse or a fucking duck. It doesn't matter. We realize that there's a power out there, whatever it is, greater than us. We're not it,
Yep.
And having had that simplified so early was really huge. And then little moments along the way, realizing that how egotistical we are as Americans, or as quote unquote Christian Americans, or living in a Christian quote unquote society, thinking that, oh, well, this God thing, that is on a steeple, and I was on a fucking cross and in a building, that's the only thing. That's egotistical.
Oh,
and
of course.
not only unrealistic, go to all these different countries. Alcoholics Anonymous is not just an American thing or a Christian thing,
No.
It's all over the fucking world. And I think I've said this before in here, and it was one of the greatest, and it wasn't an eye-opening moment, but it was really fucking nice to see at Founders Day. The dude that read How It Works was from India or Pakistan or something. I forget where it was, but I mean, he said where he was from, and I'm like, this is the shit right fucking there. And at that point, you and I probably a handful of years sober. This dude had 15 plus years sober.
Right.
And he's not out here worshiping this fucking church god. I know that for a goddamn fact.
He's some broad with like 14 arms. Right. Which is cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it works for him. That's cool, man.
Right. I'm just thinking about the broad with, God, give her at least 3 arms. That might be helpful. I don't know. He's like, call a friend, honey. But it's just that, what's funny is I underlined the word lead. I wrote down the same thing. Higher power lead us.
Yeah.
And that is, it's, like you said, the gimme gimme prayers. We talk about that all the time, right? I mean, get me a God, get me out of this, and I will.
Right. Yeah. Making bargains and right. Presuming that there is some intelligent being looking down on you, checking out what you're doing. Yeah. He really wants to make a deal with you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guy down there fucking up his life. I want to sign up with you. Let's sign some contracts. Let's make a deal. The art of the deal. Let's do that. Yeah.
Well, and that takes it to a whole nother level. So okay, let's give it to all this thing. So let's you and I believe here a minute that there is this ever power, whatever power in the sky type of thing watching
Mhm.
over everybody. Okay, so again, to get back to the egotist part of it, do I think that guy up there with the famine and the hunger and
Mhm.
not don't even mention the fucking wars and the killing and
Yep.
all this fucking evil going on in the world, all this shit that's going on in the world. I'm down here in a fucking jackpot and like, pardon me, excuse me. Well, he's all knowing and all being. He could be everywhere. Well, you know
Sure.
what? I don't think even if he was there, I believed in him. He doesn't give a fuck about me. So yeah, shut your
Right.
fucking mouth and do right next time type of thing,
Yeah. Exactly.
But that's the other thing that in again, I probably said it 4 times now. We've talked about this before, but when it comes to this whole thing with people having this, a lot of people had real problems with. We know a lot of people that had issues with God and religion when they
Mhm.
came in. Friends of ours that did,
Mhm. Sure.
and had to like find their way back to whatever.
Mhm.
And I just didn't have a concept. I was right in the middle. I didn't have a, well, this was or this could be. It was just in the
Sure.
middle type of thing. So I was
Yeah.
moldable, I guess, thankfully.
Right.
Um, but the other thing is that I didn't have to worry about, well, if God couldn't save this person,
Mhm.
how can there be a God if, again, when you look, like I just said, all the shit that goes on in the world,
Right.
so people lose their faith because all the shit goes on, and I could have said, well, I prayed for this Larry. Larry was the first major
Sure.
death,
Mhm.
when I got sober. My stepdad
Mhm.
in my
Right.
life for 30 years,
Sure.
same as my daddy. It meant the same to me.
Mhm.
Um, Prayed for him, and my prayers changed over time, over a
Mhm.
6 month period. I don't mean to laugh, but they did, to the point where he's in my prayers. Things like, oh, this and that. At the end, I prayed for him to have some shred of dignity because I know
Mhm.
how proud of a man he
Sure.
was.
Yeah.
I'm like, the dude's gonna die. Just allow him to die with some fucking grace. That's it.
Yeah.
And he did.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, people lose their faith over those sort of things, and it's
Mhm.
I don't know. It just, again, the higher power in our minds, and I'm sure it's in part of my prayers. I ask for strength. I ask for guidance.
Mhm.
I don't ask for anything for myself except I do try. At the end of my prayers, I'm just like, keep me healthy. I try to, I, I throw that out there, but I do whatever I can to try to stay healthy for the most
Uh-huh.
part.
Huh.
But other than that, I pray for other people.
Yeah.
I don't pray
Right.
for myself.
Exactly. Yeah. Nothing. I mean, well, clearly, I don't do a lot of deep prayer. I again, I said it on here before, right? I say please in the morning and thank you at night. And that's really, the the bare bones of it. There's a little more to it, but not really a hell of a lot. When you break it down, that's what I do.
Right.
Please in the morning, give me the strength to do what I have to do to stay sober today. And end of the day, thank you for allowing me to, or giving me the strength and for another sober day, and thank you for the people in my life. And that's about it, man. What the fuck else is there?
Right.
Yeah.
And I developed this, and it's almost more of a, I don't want to say a mantra, but it's a set of things that it's a reciting of things that I do.
Right.
There's
Yeah. Me
prayers in it,
too.
it's a reciting of things. And I don't think that part of it at night, and I just know usually because when I lay down to bed versus when I'm done, doing that set of things at night. But that includes my 10 step, which
Mm-hmm.
thankfully never takes me that long
Yeah.
because I'm not fucking with people these days.
Right.
Most
Exactly.
days, but all in all, it's 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes at
Mm-hmm.
night. And in the morning, probably three. You
Right.
know, and it's nothing. And I do that in between when I'm doing my readings. But it's that it. I don't know. It's sometimes I run through it and I don't really think much about what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the readings. I don't
Sure.
necessarily, I digest it, but I don't. And I know it sticks because when you reread some of these things, I know what God grant me, like you said this week.
Right.
I think I posted, there might have been one from Touchstones I posted this week, but I
Mm-hmm.
think the rest of them were from God grant me.
Right.
I think sometimes the only reason I don't post from God grant me is if it's on my phone and it cuts the reading. The reading will start towards the bottom of my page on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and it cuts it. And I'm like, fuck. There's no way for me to copy it right. And I'm like,
Right.
I don't feel like taking the time to try to paste these goddamn things together, you know?
Or actually retype it out.
Yeah, well, and God Grant Me is the one that you cannot copy text out of God Grant Me.
Hmm.
Keep It Simple, Touchstones, and whatever other one I read. 24-hour book you can also, but yeah,
Right.
God Grant Me. You know on your phone when you just put your thumb on it, you get the thing
Yeah.
and you get selection.
Right.
Yeah, God Grant Me, you can't do that. But
Really?
yeah, so I mean, what I have to do if I take anything, because I like these reading or these notes that I put on here, I take a picture of it and I hit Google Lens real quick, and Google Lens will copy and pull the text out for me. But
Right.
you know, I can't do it out of the book, which is weird. But
Yeah.
so yeah, it's I don't know. They were all good. God Grant Me, I agree with you, all good readings.
Right.
But the other things it talked about, and talked about the world catering to us, or we wanted the world to cater to us. I mean, I never
expected, demanded.
yeah. I was just gonna try to fuck around and say I never did anything like that.
Right.
And then don't give orders and don't expect miracles.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about that with even saying that some of these readings talk about us being miracles. I mean, so what? I mean, I don't remember what I know that we don't. You and I don't consider ourselves miracles.
No.
I mean, jokingly, I would say, "Oh, a fucking miracle."
Well, yeah, God's gift to everybody.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course.
Right.
But in a general sense, I mean, what is there anything that you would look at and say, "But that's a fucking
miraculous"?
Miracle. Yeah.
No. No, I mean, there's lots of really cool stuff, and some of it I can't explain just because I'm not fucking smart enough to.
Right.
But that's all it is. Oh, I can't explain that because I don't fucking understand it. Okay, it doesn't mean it's some magical thing. I just don't have that knowledge. All right then.
Right. Yeah, and I've said that before. Like people, it's like this person did this, and it's a fucking miracle.
Right.
It's an adjective that that
Sure.
people use to
Yeah.
describe something that's mind blowing. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily believe in the true definition of a miracle. Maybe let's look up what a miracle means. I'm not going to look it up.
I could do that.
If you want to, feel free. But yeah. So back to the leading us type of thing, and I think that's hugely important.
Miracle. I'm not gonna type it. Oh, what the hell is this? Oh, God. Hey, the hockey movie comes up. Nice. Hang on. Quick
Did a stripper
facts.
come up? Are you on like Pornhub
Jesus
looking up
Christ.
miracle?
No, it's the damn hockey movie.
Say miracle definition.
Yeah.
This is why we don't do this. I know so many people, you listen to the radio, listen to the podcast, people are searching on Google. This is why we don't do it.
Okay, here we go. A noun. This is from the Oxford Languages. Let's see. A surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency.
Mm-hmm. Or, as you said, you just can't explain it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's not explicable by natural or scientific laws. Well, we don't know all the fucking laws, so settle down.
Right. Well, and we've talked about it before that turning on the light. I mean, is the light switch in the room here? Is that a fucking miracle? I mean,
yes.
Because you can't explain it, right?
I can't. I know I got to pay the goddamn electric company every month.
Right. Yeah. You're a higher power called something energies.
Right. Yeah. Cleveland Public Power.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. I seriously thinking about that. I mean, I can't think of anything that I've looked at that's I think is a fucking miracle. But
right.
So back to the world catering to us. I mean, that's something that I mean, on the serious side of things. I mean, that's I know I lived my life that way. I think you did too, right? Am I mistaken? Or
oh yeah, of course. Yes. gimme, because I fucking deserve it.
Right. Well, that's why, and I once again said this before, but I used to always call myself a survivor. I mean, I had hard times in life and this and that and blah blah blah, and there's all these different things, whatever the case is, and I considered myself a survivor, which is so fucking stupid because I wasn't. I always had somebody around, either giving me something, giving me money, helping me. I wasn't surviving shit, know. I was just sitting there. I wasn't doing anything surviving,
Right.
I was living, but not based on my own doings. And
Mhm.
and even sober. I mean, the fact that I've had to lean on people in sobriety. I think you have
Mhm.
to,
Sure.
I mean, we all do. But, usually if, at least in this case, if something fucked up happens, it's usually out of our control,
Right.
9 times out of 10, maybe 8.
Mhm.
It's not something that we can look back and like, oh, Jesus Christ, I fucked up. And
Right.
now it's coming back to bite me, but,
Mhm.
yeah, it's, I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
Fucking catering to us.
again, yeah. Well, no, I really generally 9 times out of 10, it is our fault. It's that 10th time that's out of our control and we didn't have anything to do with. But yeah, 9 of those times we had a part in it. We fucked up somewhere.
Oh
And
yeah. Don't get me wrong about that. I mean, I know. No. I agree with it, and and I apologize. That's a given. I know that
yeah.
we and I had a part in everything. But what I mean is going out there and literally like blowing my paycheck on whatever, and then
Right.
realizing I can't pay my rent type of thing, and having to go to somebody else. But
Yeah.
no doubt we talked about that before, and I should have made myself clear because we've talked about it to the point of you're walking down the street, minding your own
Mhm.
business, la 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 la, and somebody punches you in the balls,
Yep.
and it's still part of that is yours.
Absolutely.
So no, agree with you. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay.
But,
So
occasionally, but there is that, occasional thing where just, bad shit happens, man. And, all right. Well, so, okay.
right,
Is that a miracle? Because I can't explain that.
when bad shit happens,
Yeah.
that's a fucking miracle.
That's a miracle.
Well, it wasn't scientific, and it wasn't.
Right.
What was the other thing that it
The
said?
natural laws. Yeah.
Natural laws and science. Okay, if it doesn't fit that mold, I guess it's a fucking miracle.
I guess so. There's your miracle, kids.
Yeah. Take that, you fucking miracle man. So the only thing I didn't understand, Cosmic Bellboy, that started out with I gave me a what the fuck? Where did that come from? Cosmic Bellboy.
Well, what does a bellboy do? He
yeah.
carries your
Okay.
luggage and brings you things and right. Yeah, your servant.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got you now.
God is not a cosmic bellboy.
Right. Again, so Starboy up there that doing all.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
Right.
it. I got
Yeah.
it.
He's not there to serve you.
I still thought that was funny. Fucking Cosmic Bellboy. What was the
Yeah.
guy's name again? Something Dick?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, right. What the hell was his name? Like I said, I forgot to look him up. Harry Emerson Fosdick.
Hey, can I show you my Harry Fosdick? That's funny. Okay, well, seriously though, good reading. Good reading
Yeah.
for our anniversary episode, if nothing else. But good goddamn reading. But anything else from the reading that pulled out? Or
yeah, I think we covered it, man. Whatever your higher power is, it's not there to serve you. You're there to serve it.
yeah, goddamn it.
Yeah, fuckers.
Yeah, you fuckers. Okay, so speaking of two people who are not fuckers, okay,
Yes,
Dr. Sarah and Finn did their promo for us, and I loaded it up here. It's going to be, if you're listening to this episode, I think I'm going to put it in. I might put it in the middle of the episode. I don't know. Either you've heard it already, everyone else out there, but Mike hasn't heard it yet.
I have not.
Let's see. I uploaded it here. Let's see if you can hear it. You ready?
I'm ready.
Hey everyone, this is Finn and Dr. Sarah from Leaving Crazy Town, the podcast where we discuss codependency, relationships, recovery, and addiction, while keeping it real with humorous stories of our own lives.
You're listening to Sober Not Mature with the badass boys of recovery, Mike and Bill, whose dedication to sobriety takes you on a wild ride with just the right amount of edginess. Fasten your seatbelt and enjoy the episode.
Isn't that nice?
The bad boys of recovery.
I couldn't stop laughing when I heard that. But
I muted myself because
I was waiting for you to laugh, and I'm like, God, you got some fucking control tonight. But
nope. Okay. I have a mute button.
Okay, well, good. Yeah, I guess I wasn't even paying attention to that. But everyone out there, hopefully, if you just started listening to us, go back and find Dr. Sarah has been on with us twice already. Yep. We love her to death. She's a great guest. The first time was getting to know her and her background. The second time was just kind of shooting the shit. Plus, she started
psychoanalyzing
us, talking about relationships. It was kind of like
great.
whoa. It's like, oh, hey, get a little personal there, doctor. But no, we love her to death, and she might be the, probably the first person, because I mean, obviously we talked about having her back on, but she might be first person to to hit on here or be on here 3 times or maybe 4 times or 5 times for God's sakes. But no, she's the only one that returned it yet, and she said that they're going to start. I told her this is like a Monday or Tuesday. And I said, well, shit, I said, I'll add it to this episode. And she's like, well, Finn does all of our stuff. She's like, I don't know, however he's got it set up. It may not be this week, but maybe the next couple of weeks. I'm like, I don't care. You know, because when they'll load in ours in there, I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'm like, the fact that you guys returned this to us was great, So
absolutely.
Actually, might have been Monday, because I think I got it while I was still up in Wisconsin. So I got a quick update on that. Want me to tell you that real quick? And then I got a program note for next week. But so as I was complaining last week, and you were trying to find my blame in it, which there was none. So I had the drive up to Wisconsin. Literally had it. If it would have been me just driving to the UPS store, getting the package, I had to go down to FedEx, sign it, give it to them, and if I would have left, I would have been in Wisconsin for about 23 minutes. Okay?
Right.
But I had the chance to go over and see Ty. Okay.
Right.
I'll tell that in a minute. But so that was on Monday. I sent that back. God, it had to have been 11:15 in the morning. They got it. They got it on Tuesday. I get the notification on Wednesday. Oh, everything's done. We'll mail it out. It's going to be like 5 to 10 days. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to be driving, which I haven't done since I've been sober. I'm going to be driving on fucking expired plates as of next Thursday. There's nothing I can do. I don't have the shit. So I'm like, well, it is what it is. And then today I get a notification from UPS saying that, oh, you get a package. So if they get a package that they can't fit in, because I've just got a small mailbox.
Sure.
If they can't fit it in there, then I get a notification. So I called at lunch, and I'm like, is that by chance license plates? He's like, well, it's a package from Carvana. I said, does it seem like it could be license plates?
Right.
He said it's a stip package, whatever. And I'm like, okay, can you do one more thing for me? Is there anything from the DMV in a piece of mail? And he's like, yeah, there is. I'm like, awesome. So I'm like, yeah, it's my license plates and my registration. So they're sending my mail to your house. So I should have it on Tuesday, because I'm like, I have to get this stuff because the shit expires on Thursday,
Right.
So UPS
no driving into Lakewood.
Yeah, and the guy's like, he's like, what do you need to buy? I said, it doesn't matter. He's like, well, ground shipping will get it there by Tuesday. I said, that's perfect. I said, I don't really drive my car during the week anyhow, but Tuesday is wonderful.
Right.
So yeah, I told the guy, I'm like, yeah, it's my buddy's house. Here's the address, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, put a note on there. I'm put it by the side door. Have somebody knock, because I'll be able to hear it, upstairs. Then I can grab it. And then, but yeah, so I'm like, well, that's what I was going to side note. By the way, I'm getting a UPS package delivered to your house. So if I die in the way out, just so you know, that's my mail. You got my mail and my license plates and all that stuff.
I'll hang them on the wall.
Do with it what you will. And there's still another step to this, which I don't care. That's fine. I can handle it at my leisure. It's not my personalized plates. These are going to be regular plates, which I don't care. They're fucking plates.
Yeah.
Then I just got to get my personalized plates transferred in. But so I get up to Wisconsin. I got a hold of Dawn right away, and she's like, they were redoing their bathroom or remodeling one of the bathrooms, whatever. She's like, drywall people are here. She's like, I'm in the room. The dog's room with me. That they got the hallway all blocked. She's like, just let me know. I'll let you know when we can do it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I'll go get something to eat out of again, powerless, right?
Right.
So I pull into the parking lot. So I was going to go to Firehouse to get something to eat, and she texted me. I was going to. And it was like, literally, it's like 11:30, and she texts me. She's like, the drywall people are gone. I've got a meeting at noon. I'm like, I could be there in 10 minutes. It was like 25 after 11. So cruised up there and got to see him. And, again, doing this stuff. They had cardboard. I went in. Did you and I go? No, we didn't go in the front door. But she had me go in the front door, which goes right into their living room. And there's like cardboard on the floor because, again, drywall guys coming through.
Right.
So when I walk in right away, and he comes up to me, and then he just lays down on the fucking cardboard, fucking legs up in the air, want me to rub his belly,
Sure.
And she's like, don't lay down there. It's dirty. And now the difference in seeing him, God, I saw him, whatever it was, a month ago when I was up there, when the pain medications and muscle relaxers and all that shit was working for him. And, he's just the medicine's not working for him anymore, even if they had him on it. But you could see the difference. He's very lumbery, you could tell he was in pain. And in their living room, it's recessed maybe 6 inches, not that far. But she's like, come on. She helped him, because he gingerly took a step down there. She's telling me that he's been looking at the couch for like a couple of weeks now, just urinating. He can't get up on the couch.
Yeah.
He did once, I guess, Easter Sunday. So the day before, he
Mm.
jumped up there. And then when he got down, he was just a fucking wreck,
Yeah.
because Derek and Kitty were over there. But all said and done, I mean, I sat there and I just petting them and the belly rubs and the whole bit. And it was, remember when we were going to Mom's funeral? You're like, it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be, did you say awful or terrible?
Yeah. Yeah. Something. Yeah. Right.
That's what this was.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. I'm glad I was able to see him. And it was funny when I was leaving. So we're in the living room, kind of again towards the side, towards the front door. And I know you can probably kind of picture this.
Sure.
And then they got the other walk around into the kitchen and the dining room and then the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So all said and done, I was just like, it was a few minutes before Dawn's meeting. I'm like, I'm just going to wash my hands. So I walk out in the kitchen and, he went to walk and she's like, no, he'll be right back. And then he's peeking around in the hallway wondering, do I walk up here? Do I go the other way? Because again, it's tough for him. He's got to figure out where he can walk, She's like, don't worry, he's not leaving yet. He'll come say bye to you. And he did. He hopped himself up there and I said goodbye to him. And, that was that. So, and Derek texted me, probably an hour and a half ago. And he goes, yeah, we just got done, at the vet and stuff like that. But, yeah, I'll tell you, it was, I was verklempt.
Yes.
Sitting there and then, I walk in with you'll see me tomorrow when I get there, because I'm wearing 2 different shoes. And I'm just kind of like, got my right side towards him. And I said, I'm just trying to be careful. So I said, I really fucked up my leg and I'll tell you about it. And she's like, I was just going to tell you or say something. She's like, you got 2 fucking shoes on. I said, I'll tell you. So as I'm sitting there petting him, I get like fucking choked up and she's like, tell me about your leg. And I'm like, I need a minute. She's like, no, take your time. It's okay. And I'm like laughing and getting all fucking choked up. It just, he was a wonderful dog,
Yeah.
And it wasn't just that. I love, again, Kathy's dogs and Brian and Kimmy's dogs and their reaction to me is all wonderful, but there was just something, I can't even put a finger out. There was something different with him,
Was it miraculous?
Yes.
Thank you.
God damn it. Fuck. You know what? Now I feel better.
Good.
Ty and I are a fucking. We were a fucking miracle. Yes, that's what it was. So thank you. Thank you for putting a little humor into that, because that, it's not easy itself retelling that story, I suppose. But I don't know. I just, as fucking pissed off as I was to have to go up there. And think about this: all this shit that we talk about. It's a nice little wraparound for all the things we talk about. Every goddamn thing happens for a reason. If these fuckers at Carvana wouldn't have jacked themselves up and somebody sat on their dick for 2.5 months, there's no way. I mean, Derek would have called me on a Friday. We had Easter. The only thing I could have done, and I probably would have, I would have drove up there on Sunday, and just kind of blown off Easter. But then maybe you would have been here. So how would that have gone? You know what I mean? So all these things happened in, I had zero control over any of it, but I was put in a position to get to see him, which not a miracle. Just a bunch of, again, we talk about people and things and circumstances being put under our lives. I don't consider it miracles. I consider it me getting the fuck out of my own way, accepting life on life's terms as much as I hate it. And every once in a while, I get something beautiful out of it.
Yep, exactly.
Not even every once in a while. A lot of times.
Yeah, right. But still, not every time. But yes, quite often. More often than not, yes. It fucking turns out better than we thought it would. If we would, and certainly better than if we were trying to control and manipulate and work things. And yes, get that bellboy working for us.
Yeah, I mean, I could not have orchestrated any of that.
Right.
Not a fucking bit of it. Not even one. Not even any part of it. I would have been like, I can't do that.
Right.
Yeah. But no, I mean, again, it was nice seeing him. That's all that I can say. And
cool.
My plates are done, so that shit's coming out to your place, and I get that shit done, and then I can again, all the other stuff falls into place, and all is good. So, quick side note on that too, just made me think about it. Did you ever get your real ID, or do you just have your passport?
Oh no, I've had it for shit. I think close to, I don't know. I got it right after they came out. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I've had it for a while.
Yeah, there was one, the opportunity that I would have had. I had to quickly do it when it was almost an afterthought before I came down here
Mm-hmm.
because I needed to get my address updated and whatever because I needed it for a couple of things that the address where I was living, I wanted, Wisconsin driver's license the whole bit. So I
Mm-hmm.
redid all that stuff. And I just didn't. Again, I had a very short amount of time by the time I thought about it, so I didn't do it.
Uh-huh.
And then, with this putting off and whatever, I'm like, fuck it, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. So
Right.
the registration part, not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
The real ID thing right now,
Mm-hmm.
clearly, because I didn't care about it,
Right.
But I figured out kind of a workaround for me to begin with because right now I don't have a passport. I've never had one.
Uh-huh.
So I've never flown. When Dawn and I went to Mexico years ago, we didn't need
Mm-hmm.
one.
Right.
I've been to Canada twice, I think.
Right.
Didn't need a passport at that point.
Yeah, back then,
Um,
right.
so I just basically at this point I can up until the real ID thing I can fly in a plane in the
Uh-huh.
United States and I'm fine.
Right. Right.
So what I'm going to
Up
do
until about a week and a half from now.
yeah, May 7th or whatever it is.
Yeah, it is May 7th because I was just, Go ahead.
So what I need to do is I'm like, well, I looked all this stuff up. I'm going to get a passport and I'm going to get the passport ID card to begin with.
Right.
Because that's the quickest and easiest one.
Mhm.
And then what that does, that allows me, again, to fly in the U.S., and I can go on by road or by water into Mexico, Canada, and some other place.
All
But
right.
you can't fly into other places.
Mhm.
And then this just gives me more time once I get that, because what I'm concerned about is with my situation, the UPS box and whatever.
Mhm.
I figured I want to get that first, so I have that solid ID, and then I'll get the real ID because that'll be another solid piece that I got through first. And based on what I need to get the passport,
Uh-huh.
I ordered my birth certificate. That I was hoping that would have been there on Monday when I was there, but it wasn't. Maybe it'll be in this package I get on Tuesday. So
Yeah.
I need birth certificate, something else, all the
Right.
things that I have, and then I'll
Mhm.
be able to get that ID card for like $30, and then I'll be able to fly in the U.S. and then I can get the real passport or the real ID at that point, the passport book,
Mhm.
or the real ID, which I'll end up getting, and then I'm good. So
Right.
yeah, I just had to take a couple extra steps, and I was concerned about, same deal. I was talking to a couple of people, like my friend Morgan. She's like, I
Mhm.
don't know how you're gonna get a real ID with not having a physical address. I'm like,
Right.
there's people out there that don't. I mean, just stay with people.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
it's got to be a way, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so. I don't know. I mean, I know I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, I don't know, man. I've had it for like 8 years or whatever, 7 years, so I don't remember what the hell I had to do. But yeah,
Right.
well, I had a valid passport when it came up, so I think that made it a lot easier.
Yeah,
If I recall correctly.
and that's why when the more I thought about it, I'm like, God, let me just look into this whole passport thing. And the
Mm-hmm.
difference with the passport card is that, well, first of all, I can put it in my wallet for the time being because
Right.
it is like the size of an ID.
Yeah.
But on top of that, it's a difference of like $30 versus, I don't know, 130 or 150
Mhm.
or something.
Right.
I'm like, I'll just spend the $30 to begin with and get that, and then deal with the fucking real ID afterwards. So,
Huh.
but I mean, one way or the other. I mean, I've got a goddamn driver's license. I just can't, as of May 7th, I can't fly until
Right.
I get that. Which, again, that is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know. I mean, I got things, but
Yeah.
maybe this is a good breaking point. What do you think
Sure.
there, Mr. 15? Superstar miracle.
Yeah. God, yeah. Seriously, I haven't even barely thought about it. Anyway, yeah, so I will think about it, and we'll be right back after these words from our sponsor.
Hey everyone, this is Finn and Dr. Sarah from Leaving Crazy Town, the podcast where we discuss codependency, relationships, recovery, and addiction, while keeping it real with humorous stories of our own lives.
You're listening to Sober Not Mature with the badass boys of recovery, Mike and Bill, whose dedication to sobriety takes you on a wild ride with just the right amount of edginess. Fasten your seatbelt and enjoy the episode.
Hey everyone, it's your friends at Sober Not Mature.
Hi
and,
there.
yes, it's both of your friends this time. Hi Mike, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Bill?
I am doing well, but we do have a purpose. We actually usually talk about our one website, but we actually have two websites now. So
Two?
2 websites in one. All right, so everyone knows we still have the podcast website that is www.SoberNotMature.com. And we just launched the store website, so we also have that. Do you know what the website address is on that one, Mike?
Of course I don't.
It's pretty easy, Mike. It's www.SoberNotMatureShop.com. So but from the podcast website, you can still hit the store link and get into the web store, or you can access it from our Instagram page through the highlights. We've been posting quite a bit about it, and we'll continue to do that. But do you know what's on the second website, Mike?
Well, there's a store. There are products that you can purchase for you and your loved ones.
Well, Mike, do we still have merchandise?
We have merchandise. Well, we got T-shirts and coffee mugs and all kinds of crap.
And one of the coolest parts, we also do have all the recovery books from Hazelden, which is kind of a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah, at least for us. So all the books that we read, God Grant Me, 24 Hours, the Big Book, the 12 and 12, all of those books are available for sale on our website. And again, that store website is www.sober.
Trying to help, man.
I know you are. You're not helping, though. Okay, now I got to say www.SoberNotMatureShop.com. .com. Visit that today, or visit the podcast website, which is, again, the podcast website. So
www.SoberNotMature.com.
Did you just say sober but not mature?
Yeah, sure. Write that down.
Yeah, like fucking mush mouth or something. All right, everyone. You've suffered enough with this, and we'll get back to what we were talking about previously. So visit the websites, though. All right, everyone. Welcome back. So what were you going to think about your sobriety?
Yeah, I guess, right. I've thought about it, but yeah, not a hell of a lot.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, same thing. Last year I was in Lake of the Ozarks last year on my anniversary, and this year I was in North Carolina. But obviously, coming back here and got the coin and did all that stuff, right. And obviously you saw, I'm sure I posted up your coin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess it's more, and I don't mean this in a weird way, but it's a little bit more in my face, when, since we've been doing the Instagram stuff, because I do, I'll post my stuff, and then when you get yours, I'll post your stuff.
Right.
So it's this flood of, things for, about a week and a half, whatever it is. Which, by the way, you got a lot of fucking love on Instagram. Not just for your anniversary, but for your coin and all that stuff. So
I'll go take a look.
Yeah, I almost forgot to tell you that, but I had a couple of posts. And it was a lot of people. Congrats, Mike! That's a kick-ass coin, and then this and that, and because it was figure 2 separate posts.
Right.
I obviously announced I copied your Facebook post, the black thing, and then posted your coin. So you got like 2 things of that, which I did too. I did the same thing with mine, because I didn't get my coin the same day. But it's just we got a lot of a lot of good people out there, and same thing I said before, and we've talked about, the following we have on Instagram, the group of people that listen on this podcast, small-ish, but the people that we have as listeners and followers, they're I mean this. I think they're loyal, they're engaged, and they're just really good people.
Yeah.
So, and we don't, it's funny. I mean, I was listening to Sober Friends the other day, and Matt read one comment that he got. It was funny. I can't remember what the person said, some comment on their YouTube, because Matt will post shit on YouTube also. And somebody commented, basically was just calling them names and saying something nasty about him. And both Matt and his podcast partner, Steve, were laughing. They're like, "Oh, thank you, guy. You just made our day."
Right.
And we didn't even get many of those either, so I don't know. Just people in general are pretty decent for the ones that listen and follow us.
The ones that hang out with us. The rest of them are fucking pretty shitty, but
Exactly. So, all right. So, programming note for next week. Remember, we were talking about a guest we had coming up, right?
Sure.
A female guest. Remember?
Okay. No.
You don't?
I don't know, man. Oh yeah. Listener, right?
Yeah, the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, the listener that was,
Jesus, yeah, I don't know,
once it's
man.
called us immature and all that stuff. Blah blah blah.
Barely paying attention to my own fucking sobriety date. How am I going to pay attention to this shit?
All right. So she sent me an email. So she's I didn't realize that. Well, let me just read this. Hello, Bill. God damn it! Where the my fucking email just closed. I said hello and my email closed. What the fuck?
Nice.
Now it won't. What the fuck? My email won't open back up. What the fuck, man?
I don't know.
Jesus
What
Christ.
the?
Oh, here we go. Here we
Modern technology making our lives easier.
It's a miracle. All right, so this is from our soon-to-be guest next week. Hello, Bill and Mike. Okay, so my name is Shirley, and she puts in parentheses, let the airplane jokes begin, which that was kind of funny. She says, my name on Instagram is Shalila, and I'll tag her when we do the post. Very old nickname, and she said, I think that's where Sheila came in. And then I'm like, wait a second, have we been, or I would have started it. You're like, yeah, it wasn't me, man.
It wasn't me.
And I'm like, I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, I've been referring to her as Sheila. And here's the fucked up part. So maybe it was because of her screen name, but like if she sends a message, it has her real name, her full real name, Shirley, and then what her last name is. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Then she's like, you can keep calling me Sheila for continuity, or you can call me Shirley. She says that I can't tell you to stop. She's like, anyhow, I'm on board for May 2nd, so that's next Friday. She's going to be recording with us. We have a guest. I do have headphones. And then she's like, do I need a mugshot? I have a few I could send. Let me know what else you need from me. Then she said, thanks for asking. I was truly shocked and flattered. Okay, which I thought was nice. And then here's the best part. She signs off with Shirley, just another sober, not mature fangirl.
Nice.
Yeah. But okay, so it's Shirley and she is serious. Hello. Hello. But I apologize. I wrote back. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck. I'm like, I know what your name is. I know what your fucking name is. I don't know how that came up. But then she sent a picture, this older one, like back from, I don't know, 10 years prior. Her sobriety date is January, because she sent that the second one, January 9th of 2020. So she's like, yeah, I'm a pandemic baby. I'm like, well, that's cool. One other thing to talk about. But the other picture she sent was she bought, I think it's the former Blackout artist shirt from us. Nice. So that's the one that I'm going to use, and I completely forgot that she bought a T-shirt from us. So, but yeah, we're all good to go. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But yes, her name, just so you know, since you've been messing up, her name's Shirley.
Oh well, I thank you for correcting me, Bill. I appreciate that.
I was like, I felt so fucking stupid. But I apologize to her. I'm like, fuck it. I said, I'm so sorry. I am just so fucking sorry. But yeah, so next week we will have Shirley on. So again, I think it's going to be fun. So but
Sheila, it is.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you want to do it is perfectly fine. I know she'll definitely laugh at both of them. So, all right. I want to get your opinion because I thought about this, and it's up to you. But I thought this, since obviously towards the anniversary thing, towards the, flipping the sober calendar and that sort of thing.
Right.
Do you feel like even just a brief thing of that when we first got to the Keating Center, that how we came in type of thing, not a full blown lead or anything like that, but do you think that would, rather than just telling people go back to episode whatever and listen to it,
listen to the crappy audio?
I don't, like we did, we did our first 30 days, which we went through all that stuff, kind of getting to the Keating Center. But what do you think? I mean, do you feel like it? If not, we tell people to go back that episode. The first 30 days, I think, was one of our best episodes in those. That's like episode 4 or something like that. It was a good, engaging episode. We got a lot of listens and a lot of comments and a lot of feedback on that episode. So it's there. Everyone can listen to the whole thing if we want to talk. I got plenty of other shit to talk about, but it's up to you if you feel like using up some airspace on that.
Honestly, no.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, first day at the Keating Center?
Yeah, just when you got there and how you ended up. Let's do this. The moment of clarity and how you got there and how you felt when you got there. We'll make it easy.
None of that's easy, man. Worst fucking day of my life.
Right? No, I know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Yeah, moment of clarity. See, I can't do this. I can't do it short. I can't do a quick one. You know, I could do my first day at the Keating Center. It was April 28th. It was a Wednesday. I took a taxi from Detox to the Keating Center. Past the Lido Lounge, which is unfortunately no longer there. It's now a Bank of America.
That's what I was going to ask. I didn't remember what it was now. So, okay, the
Yeah,
strip club
yep.
is now a bank. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
they tore that fucker down, dug a hole, burned the ground, salted it. Yeah, it was, and rebuilt a new building. It's a bank
Nice.
now.
Very nice.
Yes. Yeah, past the Lido Lounge, went all right, and then pulled into the warehouses there, and went, what the fuck is this? Yeah, you know, walked in, you know, walked downstairs, cleaned myself up, shaved, felt all good about myself. I'm walking down the hallway back upstairs, and I passed Marty in the hallway, and he looked at me and he said, "Are you a resident here?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, take those earrings out of your damn ears." I said, "So much for feeling good because I cleaned myself up." Um, and then that night they threw me in the back of a cargo van and took me to what is it? Fucking Wednesday.
West Park.
Yeah, West Park Men's. Right. Yeah. 250 fucking hardcore old school drunks. Fucking yeah. In the back of the van, man. No seats, no. I was like, okay, well, what the fuck have I got myself into? This is not the luxury that I was expecting. And and to this day, I'm grateful I didn't have any of that luxury. Well, that was my first fucking day. How about you, Bill?
Yeah, and so and I was thinking about that when as you were saying that, because it would have been, if I'm doing the math, I think it would have been it was the 23rd when I got there. So detox was would have been the 23rd. So I came from Wisconsin, detoxed in Wisconsin. My mom and my sister took me out there. So again, what turned out to be Mike's mom and our sister also, they fucking drove my ass out because they were all up in Wisconsin, and drove me out there, and I was with Kathy, and just a fucking wreck on the way out there, and thinking, what's everyone to think? I'm trying to find out what mom thought and whatever. I'm thinking I'm this disappointment, blah, blah, blah.
All about you.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, you know where my head was at, at the time I get in there. And then we didn't get there until, I don't know, 10:15 or something like that. They were in contact with Bob, whatever the fuck his name was, and Vince knew we were coming, and so we get there and it's fucking dark, and same thing. I don't remember the Lido Lounge. I remember seeing the Home Depot there, and I'm like feeling like I'm out in the middle of, some fucking industrial park, and it's fucking dark. We drive in and it's a Friday night, man, and everyone's acting like fucking animals. The people are out there yelling and screaming, literally hooting and hollering. They walk me through the goddamn place, and it looks like a fucking homeless shelter, and because it is, it really is. And that's when I came back out, and I'm standing on the front porch with mom and mom and Kathy, and that's when I told him I wanted to, I said, I can't stay here. I said, if somebody's going to try to kill me or beat me up or do whatever. And I can't, I told him, I'm like, it looks like a fucking homeless shelter. I can't stay here. And I said, I gotta think about it. And, Kathy's crying, mom's crying. And, mom, I remember mom said to me, huge point, and to her credit, because she was hard with me at times, but not always in person.
Right.
On the phone, she was a telephone tough guy all the time. I mean that in a bad way. It's just, she didn't like confrontation. She did, but she didn't,
Right.
But she just said, she goes, you have no place to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fine. And I said, I will stay here for, I said, I'll give it one day. And that's that was my mindset, and I thinking back on
one day at a time.
Yeah, and thinking back on it, had nothing to do with that.
Right.
That wasn't my intention. I was literally going to give it one fucking day. But I remember, because again, it's lights out at 11, and so by the time all said and done, I got my Dominic and Josh, literally put their arms around me and like, let's go get your stuff, and grab my stuff and, walk me downstairs. And I took my shoes off and I laid down fully clothed in my bed. I remember laying on my right side, and I'm in whatever I was in. You were in A dorm.
Yeah. No, you're downstairs in B.
Yeah, B. Okay. Yeah, so you were in A upstairs. I was in B.
Yep.
And I remember falling asleep, literally looking, because there's an exit sign above the door coming out of B dorm. And I remember looking at that exit sign, just wanting so fucking bad to leave,
Yep.
and fell asleep, and that was it. And I get up in the morning, same deal. I get up, took a shower, and I'm like, this is so. And again, this goes right along with my mindset of that week. I'm like, fine, I'll stay here, but I'm like, I'm not talking to anyone. I'm not telling anything. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to fucking cross my arms, and I'm just going to. You people can talk to me. But I'm not talking. Which again, best thing in the world, unknowingly.
Right.
But I remember I took a shower, didn't do anything. I probably needed a haircut at the time, so I didn't do anything with my hair. So I threw a hat on. I'm like, I'm not going to put my contacts in because I don't care. We're learning something. I don't need to see. Fuck them. So didn't wear my contacts, put a hat on, and I walk up the stairs, and Vince is like, you can't have a hat on in here. I'm like, oh, fucking whatever. So I'm like, I don't care. And that was my first night and day into the Keating Center, and then we have to go to meditation. Fuck me. And that was a Saturday, so it would have been a lighter day on a Saturday, but still, we did the morning meditation. I have no idea. I didn't remember the 24-hour book. I didn't remember any of that, but and that would have been April 23rd of 2010, figuring that I was part of the reading for the 24-hour book. I've never missed a reading of that book from that day forward.
Right. Yeah.
Which is but exchange books here and there, and don't remember when I added in the God Grant Me's and the Keep It Simples and all this stuff. But since that day, literally little over 15 years ago from today, 15 years and 2 days ago, and I've read that book ever since. And it's a good book. Lot of fucking God in there today, though. But the thing of it is, and you were happy, I know, you felt like you had made that decision, I think, if I remember correctly, when you went in there, and as you've openly said, not your first rodeo and that sort of thing. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but you were ready to do something about it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was ready to do something because, right. I had made come to the realization that the way I was living was not working very well for me.
Yeah, and I just it's so funny because we've talked about this a number of times, and the reason it's funny is the fact that we're literally sitting in the same place, 15 years later. The only difference is between us. Well, I mean, I have hair,
and I have style.
Yeah, I have hair and you have style. You're in Cleveland right now. I'm in Indiana. I mean, but you know what I mean? We have different, even though that, again, different steps or levels on our religious views, but we feel the same about the concept.
Right.
But the funny part is, it's just, again, the way that we came in and the backgrounds that we had, which is just it's such a wonderful testament of what this program is and what it does and what it can do,
Right.
A really good example of, it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter whether you have hair or not. If you have style, I mean, none of it fucking matters.
Nope.
It's just that, and I came in not wanting to be there. You were ready, to make a change.
Right.
I didn't have that realization. All I did was go, and as I found out 9 months later, I was going through the motions for 9 months. I wasn't miserable, for 9 months.
Yeah.
The first 30 days, I mean, I was just a grumbly fuck,
Yes, you
but
were.
right. Well, how would you know?
I can attest. Well, I can attest to about 21, 22 of those days. So yeah.
Right. Well, there was and Mom got me this little book, this little calendar book, just like a pocket calendar.
Right.
And I remember just angrily just scratching off each day. Oh, day fucking 1. Ooh, day fucking 2. Literally, I remember that just want to just grind the fucking pen into the paper in the book. But yeah, I mean, I didn't come to that realization yet. But then there goes the other level to that, is that the people that come in here come in there the Dans, the Tonys, the Larrys, all these people. Chris, our buddy Chris that we used to come in. I met my sponsor. The way that my sponsor knew how to literally handle me. When I walked up to him in West Park, so here's what I need. Is that I could, and he never looked at me like you don't have any fucking idea what you need,
right?
But he knew.
And he knew you had no fucking idea.
And he had about this at that point because he died with 17 or 18 years. He was around this we are now,
right.
at our level or our number of years, this. And I couldn't imagine some fucking Yahoo coming up to me like that. You're like, so just so you know, I only need somebody temporarily, and this is what this is how I want to do. This is what I need. And then he's just like, okay, all right. Okay. And then when I hit my ear, he's like, so you just hit your ear, huh? A little bit more temporary than what you thought, when he had a meeting with me in a fucking brewery and different shit like that. He tested me and just dealt with me in a wonderful way. And Tim did the same thing with you, I think.
Yep.
Unless I'm wrong, right?
Oh yeah. For and Tim was being guided by Joe and Bob and
right.
Right. So yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean that goes back to that too. The meetings that we went to, these people that we got to watch, and same deal. Is it you hear a lot about. Granted, I mean the Cleveland is a sit down and shut up and talk when you're talked to, and we'll tell you when, and there's rules,
Right.
But if you just I don't know, follow direction and kind of go along and just I mean literally do what other people do and.
Yeah.
Mimic their behavior and keep your mouth shut if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Not only are you fine where you're not going to get abused verbally or anything like that. You might actually learn a couple of things along the way.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. We did. Fucking knuckleheads like us can. Anybody can.
Yeah, I know, and that's it is. It's so funny that how fucking angry I was. It's fucking angry. That's still my sponsor. Oh, here's what I need, there, buddy. Yeah, okay, yeah,
sure.
You're special. Come here.
All right.
Let me help you out here.
We help you onto this short bus.
Yeah. But I mean, literally anything that any question I asked him, no matter how ridiculous it was, he always gave me a great answer, and all the stuff. I mean, I valued him, as an individual, and he knew how to handle me. Just fucking wonderful. So yeah, that's how we got. And the rest is history.
Right.
All right. So, enough about us. You feel like, do you like Demi Moore or no?
She's all right.
Okay. So I started listening to her audiobook. I don't remember if that's a couple weeks ago. I might have listened to it partially on the way down to North Carolina. I don't remember. But do you remember when Elise was talking about that she had read the book and she started drinking again based on Ashton Kutcher? So here's what it was. And I listened to it and I ended up stopping at a rest area after that. So I kind of recanted it because I wanted to tell you the deal because I was just like shaking my fucking head. So her and Ashley were together and obviously he knew, she was sober and she had, I think at that point, if I'm not mistaken, just under 20 years, I think.
Okay.
It was a long fucking time.
Right.
At least let's say 15 plus, but I think it was closer to 20. And when she started drinking again, they were in, I think they went to Mexico, if I remember correctly. Ashton was drinking wine, so he would drink around her, nothing big. She didn't mind. He didn't make a big deal out of it. And this is what he said to her. This was the moment. Okay. So, again, they're deeply in love, this and that, head over heels, whatever the case is. Okay. Whatever. But he says that he didn't think that alcoholism was a real thing. Okay. He said he thought it was all about moderation. Okay. So then, Demi's thought was, yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, exactly. So, it is immediately what I thought about is okay. She's been on the verge of a relapse probably for a while.
Oh, clearly,
I mean, maybe not doing what she had to do or whatever, but I'm like, number one, the fact that he fucking said something like that, and then this was the best part. So then he got mad at her when she started to get out of control, because that's what happened.
Well, yeah, shocker.
She was fine, and she's talking about, she's like, while she was there,
Mhm.
she would drink, have a couple of beers, do this and that, maybe have a drink.
Right.
Everything was cool,
Right.
but she felt weird. She's like, I feel wrong about doing this, and she'd go back to the room and have a drink, and she didn't want to be judged, out in public, because people knew, blah blah blah.
Uh-huh.
But then then after it was kind of open that she was drinking again. So Ashton got mad at her when she started to get out of control.
Uh-huh.
And then her thought, what do you think her thought was?
Well, it's your fucking fault.
her thought was, well, you wanted me to do this with you.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, good for fucking you, okay? It's not good that you lit your fucking light up again. I mean, I get that. You started drinking again, you relapsed or whatever, but that's a great fucking answer. You see, you stupid fucking normie.
Right.
You see why this is a bad idea?
Uh-huh.
Here's fire over here. Don't fucking play with it.
Right. Let's pour some gasoline on it and see what happens.
It's just over there smoldering for 20 years. Just leave it fucking be. It's okay. It's not hurting anyone. But then she had dental surgery and back pain, got into pills, blah 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 blah. But then she ended up I think she detoxed herself, and then obviously been sober ever since. And I can't remember when it was. I think she might be around our time, maybe 13, 14 years, somewhere in that area.
Right.
But I think it's somewhere between. I don't remember when the book came out, but and she was talking years, but I kind of lost track of where she was. But either way, she's in the realm of time back, like where we're at right now.
Uh-huh.
But literally, when I heard that, as I'm listening to it, I'm like, dude, you're gonna fucking pay for this, man. You can't tell somebody like that. Somebody that, because clearly, and this is where we've heard this goddamn story how many times, the relationship and this and that, you let your guard down, somebody you love, somebody you care about, and somebody you think has your best interest at heart. And they're like,
sure.
You're okay.
You're all right.
And you know what? We're like, yeah.
Yeah.
How does he know where we're going?
Exactly.
He's drunk. But I was just like, you fucking stupid idiot, man. You're gonna pay for it, and he sure as fuck did, because she just got all fucking out of control again. But
well, I know I need some sobriety advice. I'm going to Kelso.
Right. Yeah. And that was the other thing what I said when we were talking to Elise. I mean, he's really good friends with Dax Shepard, and obviously knowing what a fucking, that's why when I heard that line on top of that, and I don't know what year that was, and I don't remember when, well, Dax would have got sober prior to that. Because I mean, Dax, to begin with, before he had his pill relapse, he was sober for, I don't know. He's been around, if combined. I mean, even though he had his relapse in the middle of it, probably 25 years. So I would have think maybe 30. I don't know, but he may have either been newly sober or been sober for a minute at the time that she got sober. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. It blew my mind, that all of it. But then again, what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah, nothing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. I expect absolutely nothing from any of those people.
Yeah, but it's she's had it's another one. It's a good story. I'm not done with it yet, but she's another one that's been interesting. It's been very interesting to listen to, and her family background and all these different things, and I heard bits and pieces of it. Did you ever hear her? Did you listen to the one when she heard
when she was on Marin?
Yeah.
No, I never got around to it. I haven't listened to him in a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I've actually been listening to him more. It's almost, I've taken out the points of, really the only people I don't, and it's been a while since he's had a politician on there, but I don't listen to anyone that he listens to that's a politician or that I know is overly political, because I don't need that,
Right.
And it's, I mean, he's very left and all that stuff. Mark always has his beginning when he talks about it, and it's fine. It's his deal. I know who he is. I'm not going to judge him for the way he thinks. I just don't want to listen to an hour-long episode of, fucking politics. But, so yeah, anyhow, she touched on a lot of these things in that interview. It was a really good interview if you ever get the chance. So
if I ever get the chance.
Right. So, I've got there was one other. I got a couple other little things.
Well, I got a little something.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Why don't you? Why don't you? Good.
All right. So, what's my favorite band in the entire world?
The Alice Cooper Group.
Thank you. Guess who's putting out a new album?
The Alice Cooper Group.
That's right. First time in 51 years.
Really? So I knew so we were just talking about the fact that they were touring. So they're doing a new album too.
No, they're not. No, Alice is touring his solo. The band, the guys, the Alice Cooper Group. Back before when Alice Cooper was a band, not a person. Yes, the boys are back together. They put out a full album. They dropped the first single this week. Yeah, it's pretty fucking good too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So it's Alice, it's Dennis, and all the other guys in there.
Michael
correct?
Bruce, Neil Smith, and then they've got this kid from Nashville, this glam dude playing guitar, and it's pretty fucking good. Actually, the single that they dropped has Robert Kruger from The Doors on guitar on it. Yeah. Yep. Anyway,
cool.
So the album comes out in July, and I've already pre-ordered the deluxe box set.
Well, of course you did. I mean, that's cool though.
Yes.
Okay, so and I was just saying I was misunderstanding with the Alice, and I know the Alice Cooper Group, especially after listening to Dennis and all that stuff. But it didn't click right away when I said that they were touring. So that's him. Alice is touring the group.
Yes.
Did the album. Okay.
Yep.
But I apologize. Go back to your box set. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, yeah. It's CD poster, T-shirt, and a 7-inch single.
Really?
Yeah. It's
For $1,000.
Right. No, only $50 actually.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
God damn! I think I paid more than that for a greatest hits album from the Foo Fighters or something, or probably $30 or something like that.
Right.
I don't know, but goddamn, that's a fucking hell of a deal.
Yeah, right. And I mean, they're putting out some special vinyl ones and blah blah blah. But yeah, and then I think they're doing an autographed one too. That's about $200. But yeah, yep, it's amazing stuff.
That's cool.
And hopefully they're going to do some shows. We'll see.
And that was my next question because, I didn't realize that part of it, but that was my next thought was if they would,
right.
If they would
tour, there's 4 guys in their 70s. So,
yeah.
I mean, Alice is still going out and doing it constantly. That's what he does. But, the rest, I mean, I know, and Neil's probably up for it. God knows Dennis is up for it. Michael's a little, he beat himself up pretty good for a while there. So, yeah, but, we'll see. Hopefully, I mean, they've done some interviews and stuff in the last week, dropped some, and Alice is like, yeah, maybe, we might do some, New York, London, Detroit, possibly. So, yeah, we'll see. If they do, I'm there.
Right. Wait, really?
Yeah.
But I mean, that is the thing. And you hear all these, again, interviews that I've listened to over the years, obviously since, with the Spotify and all these different streaming platforms, it's the only way that these musicians can make any money anymore is touring.
Oh, yeah. Right.
That's why you see a lot of these, fucking bands that are out there, like Motley Crue. I mean, Vince Neil has no fucking business being behind a microphone.
None of them do.
Axl Rose shouldn't be singing.
Mm-hmm.
But they make fucking millions just by going, going back out there.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that, they all this shit with fucking Dave Grohl, with him, fucking that chick and getting her pregnant and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, and I don't remember if there was like in the back of my head, I'm like, why does this fucking bother me? I am not bothered by the fact of what he did.
Right.
The more I thought about it, what bothered me is how he affected the other people in his band.
Right.
And it's one thing. I mean, obviously he affected his family. I get that. He's got his own fucking, you laid in somebody else's bed. You fucked up your home bed. You fucked up your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You got to fucking deal with that. But you just affected the livelihood,
right.
By making a choice of not to get out in front of people because you're such a fucking pussy. All these your band members,
right.
You just affected them. And that's the more I thought about it. That's kind of our deal, right? It's
right.
one thing, I say, well, people out there fucking other people up. I just don't. I lost a lot of respect for him as an individual. And it wasn't because
They're crawling back.
I know.
They played. He played Coachella, right?
Yeah, I saw that. But I don't know. It's just one of those things. But I hope they do. I hope that they tour because I know you'd like to see them, and I'm sure a lot of people, especially if they haven't done how many years?
51 years since the last album of, yeah, right.
That's fucking crazy.
1973, 74, right?
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, Muscle of Love was the last album that the band put out.
Now wait, 1974. There's no way that was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Not a fucking chance. Not a goddamn chance.
1975 was 50 years ago.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just 51 years ago. Fuck.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then you see whatever it is, take 20. Somebody's like, oh, 1990s, as far back as this was,
Yeah.
the whole Back to the Future reference. I'm
Right.
like, stop it. I'm like, that can't fucking be. And then you're like, Jesus
Right.
Christ, goddamn.
All right. Well, the year 2000 was 25 fucking years ago.
I know. I mean, I have a, I've got a son that's 25 years old, and I
Right.
don't think about it when I look at him, but when I start looking at the calendar, I'm like, motherfucker, And it's crazy. I mean, when you can literally talk about something that I can with a solid memory,
Mhm.
I can talk about something that happened 50 years ago.
Sure.
Because I was 6.
Right.
I remember shit when I was 6.
Sure.
I could easily go 40 years ago. I'm like, well, fuck. I mean, that's high school.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I was fully aware. I was like, God damn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's too much. Too much sometimes. Not in a bad way. So
right.
I'm just goddamn glad to be still around.
So
Like you said,
okay, so 1974, right? Yeah. 30 years before that, World War II was going on.
Okay, there. That's a good example. That's a wonderful example of that, of the fucking mind blown by the amount of time.
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ. All right, so I have a couple of. Have we done enough sobriety shit? Because I got a couple of kind of fun things I want to talk about. Okay, we got. I don't know. Based on timing, not that we quit whatever the fuck we want, but we're hitting up to we're in the home stretch. I think
we are.
Number of fucks we had in last episode. Go.
122.
163.
Nice.
I
didn't go over, Bob.
No, you did not. When is the last time that you saw a car with Bondo on it? And there's a reason I'm going to ask this question. You know what Bondo is, right?
Well, yeah, of course I know what Bondo is. I'm old.
I was going to say, okay, anyone out there, if you don't know what Bondo is, as soon as I said it, just look it up. Okay, but you, Mike, when's the last time?
Last time? Seems like actually fairly recently. I think I saw a fucking beat up pickup truck with some Bondo on it.
Really?
Or something was similar. It looked like that sort of. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and it looks like it's skin colored stuff on the side of somebody's car.
Well,
so
gray.
Well, you can get it's either I've seen gray and I've seen a little bit that's a little bit like a pinkish color if you get certain.
All right, flesh toned.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's how skin colored, flesh toned. Either way, let's call it gray. I like gray better. But I don't remember. I can't remember the last time when I was driving up to Wisconsin on Monday.
Yeah,
I saw a car, and that was originally. I'm like, God, I haven't seen a car. I've got to ask that question. Then I'm driving along another half hour, another fucking car all with Bondo all over the place. I'm like, what the fuck? And then a third one.
Nice.
In one fucking day. I haven't seen, and these were newer. These weren't like old beat up trucks or anything like that. These are newer cars that literally just recently had some, not brand new, but literally had some. I'm like, I haven't seen a car with fucking Bondo on it in probably 30 years, maybe 20. Well, I don't even remember the last time. It's just, it surprised me. And I'm like, I don't know that I just don't see him anymore. Just don't see him anymore at all.
Right.
Okay. So that was that. Want to hear a quick dating app story?
Sure.
Okay. Quick question on dating apps. So, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. So if you were on dating apps prior to when you got sober,
yeah,
what would you have marked as drinking? Like there's usually a category.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, yes.
Okay, and that's legitimate. And so what I see now, I see occasionally, sometimes on special occasions, socially on weekends.
Right.
I see rarely. There is sober on there, and then there's yes. And then because I thought every time I see that, I avoid the ones that are yes, because I'm like, okay, they're being honest. There's no judgment, but they're like, no, dude, I fucking drink.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm like, That's kind of like, nah, fuck me up, like whatever. I drink. I'm like, cool. I pass those up.
Sure.
Occasionally, the rarelies are the ones I kind of look at. You run across
Mhm.
ones that are sober every once in a while, very
Right.
rarely.
Mhm.
But sometimes it's fine. That's somebody probably minimizing, which I understand. But at
Yeah.
least, it's
Do
not.
you?
but at least it's the yes part of it, the ones I fucking
Yes.
laugh at. Just fucking yes.
Yes. Do you drink? Yes, I do. Why? Do you have some?
Yes, that would be a great answer.
Heroin? Yes.
Alcohol? Do you have some?
Right.
Yeah, heroin. How often do you use heroin?
You holding?
Yeah. Yeah, because there's some that, have you smoked a cigarette in the last 6 months? Have you used heroin in the last 6 months? Have you snorted cocaine? Have you smoked
Yes.
crack?
Yes.
Yeah, Mike's yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Socially? No.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, the crack smoking, yes, socially.
You said that before.
Uh-huh.
So real quick on the dating app story, there's a point to this. Okay. So,
All right.
I play around with dating apps. It's just, I don't have really I don't want to say I don't have the time to date, but I look at myself on dating apps kind of like a dog chasing a car. Cause if sometimes if I match with somebody, I'm like, I don't know what to do with it because
Right.
I mean, I'm kind of kicking around. It's kind of like if a dog caught a
Yeah,
car.
right.
But here's my mindset, and quite honestly, it's just that the world is more of a mobile place, and people kick around. People do, not everyone does what I do, but
Mm-hmm.
people are a lot more again mobile and stuff like that.
Sure.
And I've noticed that in the dating apps, people be in passport mode, travel mode. They're traveling, their hometown is here, and they're still, scrolling dating apps when they're out and about.
Right.
So what happens, like for instance, when I went down to North Carolina, heading down through the states, one of the ones was Kentucky. I ended up, got this, somebody liked me on a dating app, and I ended up scrolling through and ended up matching with this person,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Bumble. So it's the one where the female's got to
Yeah,
respond or
right.
reach out first.
Yeah.
And she's like, hello, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm good, blah, blah, blah. This, that little chit chat. It's just like, comes back with, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you live in North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
She's in Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay.
And I drove right through there. That's how it happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't live here, but here's my deal, short story type of thing. She's like, that's kind of
Right.
cool. So we're chit-chatting back and forth just one day. And she's like, well, she goes, I'll be honest with you. She said, I tried a long distance dating type of thing. It didn't work out. And I said, well, here's my mindset with this. And I'm like, I have had the opportunity to meet really cool people.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? Maybe if I'm ever
Right.
in the area, hang out with somebody. I don't know.
Right.
I have the opportunity, the mindfulness. I'm open to a lot of different things. That's why I do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, there's a place I want to go in Kentucky, and I can't think of it. I looked, and I said, have you ever been to the Red River Gorge? And she's like, it's beautiful. And I said, that's one of the places. It's a trip I'm trying to work on right now. One place I had written down. So all said and done, it was just like, yeah, I'd love to be there. So she's like, oh yeah, you'd really like it, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. She already said, long distance, no thing, whatever.
Right.
But now what happens in this particular dating app is after a week or so, there's no activity. It'll drop your conversation out into like older chats, but it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started to kind of look again, and I had sent the last message to her. I think she's got like fucking ridiculously cool eyes. It's one of my things. I love nice eyes, and I told her that, like, I'm sure you always hear this. And she's like, I do, but thank you. And I said, you're welcome. That was the last message.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you're welcome after that. So I start looking out this thing, and I'm like, God, I wonder if maybe in possibly June or July, I might see if I can do a couple of weeks. It really had nothing to do with her at that point.
Sure.
I want to go to this Red River Gorge, and I've had it on this list for a couple of months.
Right.
So I'm like, oh shit, that's right. She was in Kentucky. So I look back, and it was still there. And I said, hey, by the way, I said, obviously chatting, before. And I said, I'm in the early stages, but I trying to see and blah, 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 plan a trip, whatever. I said, and I just asked her, I said, would you mind if I messaged you if I get in the area?
Mm-hmm.
That was it,
Yeah. Right.
And then she's like, you can message me, but we're not meeting.
Oh.
And I'm like, I looked at it. I'm like, what? And then she's like, if you really would have been interested, she said, you could have called me. You could have kept in touch with me. You could have whatever. I'm like, called you? Now, remember my story a minute ago?
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe she's confusing me with somebody else. That's what I thought. And because she even thanked me in her messages, she goes, so many guys won't even respond to messages. I said, that's just stupid. Why would you be on here or not? So she thanked me to begin with for even responding to her to begin with. So
Right.
So I'm like, I said, well, we were just talking. I said, it was like 2.5 weeks ago and blah, blah, blah. And I said, we never exchanged numbers, but, obviously I know I had mentioned that I might, whatever, figured, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I know. She goes, but you could have at least, she goes, somebody would take the time to get to know me and whatever. She's like, if we just met now, it'd be like I'm meeting a stranger. And in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm not coming there tomorrow. I thought if I'm coming there in a month or so, in my head, I'm like, that might give an opportunity for me to, if it even, whatever.
Right.
And
I see some Bondo there.
I know. And I'm reading all this and I'm like, part of me, I can't even fucking believe it. And then I said, I just wrote back at this point because I want to say, listen,
look, you crazy bitch.
I'm like, was I supposed to ask you for your phone number? You would ask me, you would have said I was a fucking pig if I would ask you for your phone number.
Right.
I said, should I just, shot you a picture of my dick and said, hey, what's your number?
Yeah.
I'm like, this. So if I'm just said, I said, you know what? I apologize. I didn't mean to offend you. I said, it certainly wasn't my intention. Blah, 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 blah. Then she's like, no offense. She says, I need somebody a guy that would take initiative, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, she's like not letting it go. And, I'm just like you said, I'm like, this chick is fucking nuts. And then part of me is like, ooh, this chick.
Well, yeah.
I'm like,
nice eyes and crazy. Yay.
I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, I got the devil and angel thing on my shoulders at this point. I'm like, you need to fucking run away. But I'm like, no, but she's really fucking crazy, And then I said, you know what? I wish you the best.
Yeah.
And then I was working at the time, and then a message popped up that she had messaged me. By the time I went back in there, she had deleted the chat, so she probably said something fucking smart and deleted it. But I'm like, Jesus Christ, you can't fucking win. So for the 3 women that might listen to this podcast, yes, this is why I'm single. If you're wondering, I know I seem fucking wonderful. I'm not, apparently.
Apparently.
But I'm just
why did you call me?
I'm like, call you playoffs.
Exactly.
But I swear to fucking God, part of me is just like, oh, this chick's fucking crazy, man. Ooh, she's fucking crazy. Yeah, see, aren't you glad you don't have to deal with fucking bullshit?
Yes, I am. Every fucking day.
I know. It's just, and you know what? I knew as this is happening to me, this is gonna make this is a great story. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. Okay, last one here. A fire Wednesday in Brighton, this is in Staten Island, New York, that spread to multiple homes and sent a senior citizen fleeing into the street. All started with a pair of sex toys, prosecutors allege. Get you? I guess you get?
All right.
The defendant, 37 years old, they have his name, doesn't matter, arraigned in criminal court on charges that include 4th-degree arson and 2nd-degree reckless endangerment. Okay, now you're like, sex toys and endangerment. How does this fall together, Bill? Prosecutors say that the individual intentionally set the intimacy items on fire with a lighter in the backyard of a home he shares with his mother. The fire spread to the rear. That's the rear of the house now. Wooden deck of the home and then neighboring properties, blah, blah, blah. 3 houses, 2 vehicles blazed.
A wooden what?
A wooden deck.
Ah.
Yeah, it spread to the rear at a wooden dick.
Yep.
He said, and he says, yeah, he goes, I started the fire. I lit 2 sex toys on fire. There was I don't believe there was any intent. Where is the line? It said that the whatever it was, I think it was the reporter that looked it up. Said that they looked up the toys that this individual had. My understanding is they were pocket pussies, is what they were.
All right.
And of course, the directions said warm before use. So he fucking lit them up
on fire.
You're too stupid to even fuck a fake pussy.
37 years old, living with his mommy.
Yeah. But I was thinking, like, halfway through this, I'm like, maybe you heard this on what show do you listen to? The radio show?
Oh, Alan Cox.
Yeah. Because this came from the again, the morning show I listened to was where I caught the headline from. But I'm like, why the fuck? How These sex toys start on fire. I'm like, I got to read this. I got to find this fucking article. But yeah, it's
Actually,
apparently
he's been on vacation this week, so that's probably why I haven't heard it.
yeah, it's apparently they were. Yeah, you're supposed to warn before use. So I just
all right.
yep, that's smarter than your average bear, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so I think on burning sex toys, burning vaginas, burning fake vaginas.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should wrap it up.
Yes.
All right, your turn.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening to yet another episode of Sober Not Mature. As always, be kind to each other, be good to each other, go out and do something nice for somebody else this week, and don't tell anybody you did it. And thank you, everyone, from both of us for the cool messages and love and all that good stuff for our anniversaries. We do appreciate it. Now, from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul, from the beginning of time till the ends of the earth, always and eternally, fuck you. Now it's time, kids. It's time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off till you get to a gate with a sign on it saying, you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over that gate. Dream the impossible dream. And keep fucking off forever.
Yes. And yes, I second what you said. Thank you. Thanks is on all on this side of the table. Our sides of the table this time.
Yes.
Thanks is all over here. And you know the thing we failed to mention, I'm going to mention now. I am going to be in real fucking time as of tomorrow.
Yep.
And you're stuck with me for a week, right? Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I can
Man,
stay.
bring cash.
For a week. Yeah, for the poker thing.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, well, hang on one second. After I'll tell you what, you can have all the money in my wallet that's left after poker.
Okay.
I'm holding it in my hand right now. My money.
All right.
not my dick. How much is it for poker now?
$20.
Okay, you get $5 because that's what I have. I have $25. But yeah, so I'm heading out to Cleveland.
Put it in the basket at Pure this Sunday night.
You know what? I'll do that. Oh, do I got to go to a meeting? Fuck.
Yeah, you got to go to a meeting, asshole.
I get to go to a meeting. I was happy about that. I'm like, seriously, I was looking forward to it. I like going to Pure. I have a good time there.
Cool.
But so yeah, I'll be out in Cleveland. We're playing cards with friends, I believe, on Saturday, and then Mike is allowing me in his abode for a week, and then be a good time. There was something.
Both of my homes.
Both of your homes, and I think I don't know. I can let you know what I might be out there. Not early-ish. What time are we playing cards? Do you know?
I don't know, 7-ish.
Okay, because I might get out there a little bit earlier than normal. I have to go to the store so I can. I've got to get food or chicken or something to make in your slow cooker. So you
got a key.
I know, and I actually, from when I packed up my other car, literally, I set myself a note today. I'm like, I gotta find Mike's key because it was in a bag. It was in a Tupperware dish. I knew, but I'm like, fuck, I still have that key, don't I? Which I do. All right. So, what else, man? Anything?
No, nothing. I'll see your ass tomorrow.
Yeah, you will. All right, man. I love you, brother.
Love you too.
And not even just soon. Fucking tomorrow, I will see you.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, right. Less than 24 hours. Damn.
Yeah. That is a goddamn truth. All right, man. Love you, brother.
Love you. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. And now it is time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off until you get to a gate with a sign on it saying you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over that gate. Dream the impossible dream. And keep fucking off forever.